One of the greatest recipes in the world you've never heard of is rice pudding. And just bear with me for a second. This is not any rice pudding. This is the best dessert in Paris for the last 16 years. Little bistro restaurant I went to called La Maison, and the guy is Stéphane Jégo. And he developed this recipe, as I said, 16 years ago. It's the toast of Paris, and it's three things. It's an incredibly light rice pudding. It is a caramel cream, which is a whole new idea I'd never heard of, which is phenomenal. And then it's pralines, which is crumbled up. This is not a quick recipe. It probably is the best dessert you'll ever make at home. Rice pudding starts with rice, medium grain rice, which has a lot of starch in it, salt. So we have half a cup of rice, 2 cups of water. So we'll cook this about 20 minutes. Now, meanwhile, we can get going on the caramel, which you could put on almost anything. This is 6 tablespoons of salted butter, 6 tablespoons of sugar, and we're gonna cook this for just a few minutes until we get a nice, rich caramel color, because if you don't, the caramel is just gonna be sweet. It doesn't have that wonderful rich flavor, which is what we want, especially with rice pudding, which is, obviously on the bland side. The little gas stove that couldn't. When it starts to go, you really want to pay attention, because if you overdo it, it'll burn. If you are worried that it's going to turn too quickly, just take it entirely off the heat. Don't turn the heat down. Now when this comes up to a simmer, top on, reduce that down. We want a little bit of smoke coming up. We're going to take that off the heat. Then we're going to take a cup cream. We're going to add that. It's going to bubble up. And now we're going to put that back on the heat, because some of that sugar has seized, and we're going to want to melt it back in. We're going to put this in a bowl. We're going to cool that at room temperature, and then put it in the fridge, cover it, and let it sit for about 2 hours, and then we're going to whip it up. When the rice is cooked 20 minutes, we're going to add 3/4 cup of sugar, 2 cups of milk with the vanilla, and I'm also going to add the pods too. Bring it up to simmer, cook it about 20 minutes, and then we're going to get rice pudding. So it's thickened up. We'll get rid of the pods. We're going to let this chill down, and then we'll go on to the next step. We're going to make a praline. You don't have to do this. What's nice is you get some real texture, because the rest of the dish is essentially pudding. And it's really simple to make, and this is something you could do for, any kind of dessert if you wanted something else served alongside it. The first step is toasting the almonds. Nothing's going to happen for a couple minutes, then all of a sudden they're going to go fast, which means that once they start going, you want to move them around in the skillet. You want to get them out fast once they get toasted properly, otherwise they're going to burn. This is the part when you go, is it toasted? Is it toasted? Is it toasted? It's over toasted, so you want to be careful. Spread those out. So we're not going to take up the whole area. Put them into one layer. Now for the caramel. One way I like to do it is not use any water. And I like to make, instead of mounding in the center, I want to spread it out in the whole skillet. It'll start to melt around the center. It's really easy for me to see the color change. And I think this method is actually better than the method where you use 2 parts sugar, 1 part water. Okay, so that's a nice dark color. It's not burned. And then a little salt. The moment is upon us. So we have the praline done. Now we have to finish up the rice pudding and the caramel cream. First step is we're just going to beat some heavy cream. We don't need to use a big stand mixer for that. By the way, I just love this when appliance manufacturers a little button that says turbo, as if, that's going to really do something. Actually, let's see what turbo does, okay? Here we go. Basically does nothing as far as I can tell. Just use a stand mixer. Could someone invent a hand, electric mixer that actually works? I mean, I know a stand mixer, you don't want to bring it out for a small job like this, but this is taking a really long time. So if anybody out there has a stand mixer, electric hand mixer, that actually cranks and can do whipped cream in a minute or a minute and a half, please give us a ring. We'd like to hear from you. Okay, guys, I'm done. Like, This is a whisk. I'm going to use a whisk. You know, I actually do use a whisk for small amounts. This is much more efficient, I'm sorry. And it makes you feel like you're actually doing something instead of standing there like a complete idiot holding this machine. So let's go grab the rice pudding. Okay, this is nice and chilled. We're gonna wanna break it up a little bit with a whisk to start because it's gonna be thick. Now, one of the things that was great about this recipe when I had it in Paris is it's super light. Yeah, it's got heavy cream in it, but if you're worried about heavy cream and sugar, don't make this recipe. Now that looks super good. Next, we're going to get the caramel cream. Is this gonna work or I'm gonna be here for 10 minutes? Okay, we have 3 brilliant cooks here, or 2.5. So what do you think? Hand mixer? Whisk?
Hand mixer.
Yeah, I think so too. Okay, I'm going back to this. This is gonna take a little more effort, so let's see. When I die, I'd like to have an even coating of this spread all over my body because this is like, this is dessert. I'm throwing out the rice pudding. I'm throwing out everything else. I'm just gonna take a big bowl of this and disappear. This is, I know I'm double dipping. I'm sorry, I apologize. Oh my Lord. So we have the rice pudding, we have this, now we have the praline, break it into pieces. So this is served this way at the restaurant. They have a big bowl of rice pudding, usually huge. They have the caramel cream and they have the praline, and then you can just serve yourself. Over the years, many years, doing recipes on camera, I always talk about how good the food is at the end, so no one believes me anymore if I say it's delicious. There's a reason this recipe has been the #1 dessert recipe in Paris for about the last 16 years, so. A little more. Oh. I think I'd like to end my life with a bowl of this. This is absolutely delicious.